Rabbit Adventure in the Woods. Once upon a time, deep in a wide, whispering forest where the trees stretched tall enough to tickle the clouds, there lived a family of rabbits in a cozy burrow beneath the roots of an old oak tree. The forest was known as Willowshade Woods. In spring, it smelled like fresh flowers and warm sunshine. In summer, it buzzed with bees and shimmered with fireflies. In autumn, the leaves turned golden and floated gently to the ground. And in winter, snow blanketed everything in sparkling white. In that burrow lived Mama Clover, Papa Moss, and their 3 little bunnies, Pip, Petal, and Thistle. Pip was the oldest and the bravest. He loved to explore beyond the meadow. Petal was gentle and thoughtful. She noticed the tiniest details, like ladybugs resting on leaves. Thistle was the youngest and the most energetic. He bounced more than he walked. Every morning, Mama Clover would twitch her whiskers and say, "Time to wake up, little tails." The 3 bunnies would wiggle and stretch, their soft ears flopping every which way. One bright morning, sunlight streamed into the burrow entrance, and Papa Moss announced, "Today is a very special day. The Great Berry Moon will rise tonight." "The Great Berry Moon?" Thistle gasped, nearly tipping over backward. "Yes," said Petal softly. "It only happens once a year. The moon turns pink like a berry." "And," Papa Moss added, "legend says that whoever finds the shimmering clearing before the moon rises will see something magical." Pip's eyes grew wide. "Can we go find it?" Mama Clover smiled carefully. "You may explore, but stay together, listen to the forest, and be home before moonrise." The 3 bunnies promised and set off through the woods. The forest was alive with sound. Birds chirped above, leaves rustled below. A gentle breeze made the branches sway like dancers. As they hopped through the ferns, they met Oliver the Owl perched on a low branch. "Where are you off to in such a hurry?" Oliver asked, blinking slowly. "We're looking for the shimmering clearing," Thistle blurted. Oliver swiveled his head almost all the way around. "Ah, many search, few listen." "Listen to what?" Petal asked. "To the forest," Oliver replied. "The trees will show you." Pip thanked the owl, and they continued on. They soon reached a bubbling brook. The water sparkled like tiny diamonds. "How do we cross?" Thistle asked. Pip tested a smooth stone with his paw. It wobbled. Petal closed her eyes. "Listen," she whispered. They heard the water flowing gently around a fallen log just upstream. "There," Pip said. Together, they hopped carefully across the log. Thistle slipped once, but Pip grabbed his paw and Petal steadied him. On the other side, they laughed with relief. "You see?" Petal smiled. "The forest helped." Deeper into the woods they went, where the trees grew thicker and the air cooler. Suddenly, they heard a rustle. All 3 froze. Out stepped a red fox. The fox's amber eyes gleamed, but he did not look hungry, only curious. "Well, well," the fox said smoothly. 3 little rabbits far from home." Pip swallowed bravely. "We're just exploring." The fox tilted his head. "Looking for something special?" "The shimmering clearing," Thistle answered before Pip could stop him. The fox's whiskers twitched. "Ah, that place is tricky to find. I could show you for a favor." Petal gently tugged Pip's ear. Something didn't feel right. "What kind of favor?" Pip asked cautiously. "Oh, nothing much," said the fox. Just tell me where your burrow is." The rabbits exchanged glances. Papa Moss had always warned them, "Never reveal your home to strangers." Pip stood tall. "No, thank you. We'll find it ourselves." The fox's smile faded slightly. "Very well. Best of luck." And with that, he disappeared into the brush. They let out a long breath. "That was scary," Thistle whispered. "But we stayed together," Petal said proudly. They continued walking until the forest began to glow softly. At first, they thought it was sunlight, but the sun was beginning to set. Tiny fireflies floated all around them, blinking like stars. Petal noticed something unusual. The fireflies, they're all flying the same direction. Pip watched closely. They're forming a path. The bunnies followed the glowing trail. It led them through a curtain of hanging vines. And there it was, the shimmering clearing. The grass sparkled like it had been dusted with glitter. Silver blue flowers glowed gently. In the center stood a small pond, perfectly still. The sky above had turned dusky purple, and slowly the great berry moon began to rise. It was enormous, round, soft pink. The clearing shimmered brighter as moonlight touched it. Suddenly, the pond began to glow. From its surface rose tiny lights, like floating petals made of starlight. The three rabbits stared in awe. "It's beautiful," Petal whispered. As the lights drifted toward them, each bunny felt something warm in their chest. Pip felt courage, not the kind that fights, but the kind that protects. Petal felt wisdom, not just noticing things, but understanding them. Thistle felt joy, not the loud kind, but the steady kind that lasts. A gentle breeze swept through the clearing, and then they heard a familiar voice. "You found it." Mama Clover and Papa Moss stepped from behind the trees. "You followed the forest," Papa Moss said proudly. Mama Clover nuzzled them. "The magic isn't just the clearing, it's how you found it." Pip blinked. "You knew where it was?" "We've always known," Mama Clover smiled, "but every bunny must find it for themselves." The great berry moon shone brighter, bathing them in pink light. The fox watched from far away at the edge of the trees. He saw the rabbits, safe with their family, glowing under the moon. For a moment, something softened in his eyes. Then he quietly turned and walked deeper into the forest. Back in the clearing, the 5 rabbits sat together. "Will it always be this magical?" Thistle asked sleepily. Papa Moss chuckled. "Magic is always here. You just have to slow down enough to see it." The fireflies danced overhead. The moon climbed higher. Eventually, Mama Clover said, "Time to go home." The rabbits took one last look at the shimmering pond. As they hopped back through the forest, everything seemed different, but also the same. The brook sounded sweeter. The trees felt friendlier. The night air felt warmer. Because now, they understood something important. The woods weren't just a place to live. They were alive, with lessons, with beauty, with quiet magic. Back in their burrow, the 3 little bunnies curled up together. "Pip?" Thistle murmured. "Yes?" "Next year, can we find it again?" Pip smiled in the dark. "Maybe next year, we'll help someone else find it." Petal sighed happily. The forest always has more to show. Mama Clover tucked them in with soft moss blankets. Outside, the great berry moon shone over Willowshade Woods, and deep beneath the old oak tree, 3 brave little rabbits drifted off to sleep, dreaming of fireflies, shimmering clearings, and all the adventures still waiting among the whispering trees. And in the quiet forest night, if you listened closely, you could almost hear the trees whisper, "Stay curious, stay kind, stay together." The end.